When you hire a videographer, is he your employee or a freelancer? Hi, my name is Bernardson. I'm a commercial videographer and photographer. I get a lot of misconception and question about that. Understanding the difference can be hard many times. Depending on what country you're from and where you do business, you will get different answers. So those laws are defined based on your province if you're in Canada, and if you're in the States, based on the states you live in. I would recommend that you consult your provincial government law and regulation to get more information. I'm not a lawyer. For example, in Quebec, to be considered as an employee of any company, I would need to get on the company payroll or have a strong dependency link with the company I'm doing business with. This is one of the few examples, but you have many more. The company would have to remove all the government taxes. The right of the project also, when you are an employee of a company, will go to the company. So all the content created will be the property of the company based on your employment contract. If I am working as a freelancer, I'm the one taking all the risk. So as a freelancer doing a project, for example, in Quebec, one thing that will confirm my status as a freelancer would be a contract. But again, you should verify the law, and your province contracts sometimes are not enough when you have a strong link with the company you do business with. So I'm doing business under my company name. I'm not insured by the company I'm working for. Sometimes you can have those insurance transfer to, but it's more complex. I have my own insurance, my own tax number, and I'm not giving my social security number to the company for them to create a T4A in Canada. And if you're in the state, the form is a 1099. Always better to consult lawyer, your local government to get more help. In Canada, you have resources like the Canadian Intellectual Property Office. And in the state, I'm not sure if it's the Patent Trademark Office. Usually you will find a toll-free number, so take the time to call them. Those resources are out there and they can really help you understand. When you are considered as an employee, the company will provide to you all the tools to do the work. So if I go on a shoot and I bring my own camera, I cannot be considered as an employee. If in my employment contract, it didn't state I was to bring my own equipment. And if I do so, you should be getting an additional amount on that paycheck as well. If you go on a project and you bring your own equipment, you're not an employee of that company. Just letting you know, this video is brought to you by BDH Collective, a collective of freelancers who provide all the creative, technical, and administrative resources you need for your creative project. If the project is in media, multimedia, advertisement, design, art, or fashion, this is the agency for you. You can check them out at bdhcollective.com. Now, let's get back to the video. This is one reason why negotiating your pricing hourly won't help your case. I've had potential customer who try to negotiate price down by telling me stuff like, I will pay you hourly, and after deduction and taxes, that's really not good for you. The concept of hourly is usually like, oh, I'm gonna pay you $15 to $20 an hour. But as a freelancer, $15 to $20 is equivalent to $6 to $10. This is way below the minimum wage, any case in Canada. In the past, I used to get into huge debate trying to explain to potential client taxation, payroll, and it was wasting my time and creating more conflict. To avoid those conflicts, I just said no and move on. At the end of the day, if you're running a business, you should at least try to understand what are business expenses. And if you're not paying your taxes, I still have to pay mine. This is why it is important to understand the distinction between being an employee and a freelancer. Every time I go on a shoot as a freelancer, I'm a subcontractor, because if something happened to my equipment while I'm on the shoot, I'm responsible for it. So the company will not come back and say, oh, I'm going to refund you your camera if it breaks, because I'm not their employee. They will just tell me that it was my responsibility and I'm the owner. So that was my equipment. So to do a recap, if you're an employee, they will deduct all the necessary taxes at the source. And if you are a subcontractor, all the risks are on you. So you have to charge accordingly. Whether you are an employee or a freelancer, you just have to negotiate your pay properly. If you're working as an employee, you're not bringing your equipment. So the company will provide the equipment. It is their responsibility to go rent those cameras for you, because you're not getting paid to do that. If they pay you additional hour to go from the office to the rental company and come back with the equipment, this is when you can say, yeah, I'm an employee and I'm getting paid hourly to do so. If anything happened to that camera, your company would have to deal with the rental company, not you. If the camera is owned by the company who hired you, They are the one who will have to give you a replacement unit and deal with the repair and finding a new unit. You have a huge boom in video production. As an employee, you shouldn't have to go rent the camera under your name. If you do, you're not an employee. You are a freelancer and you have to also charge accordingly. You have to understand what your local law is to understand the full extent of the difference between being an employee or a subcontractor. If you're an employee, remember that everything needs to be given to you and all the taxes will be deducted from your payroll. If you're a subcontractor, you have to manage all the tax by yourself, all the deduction, and everything is your responsibility. As a contractor, the product I create is mine and I transfer a license to the given product. Sometimes the client wants full ownership of the product, so they acquire it with additional fees. It's really good to consult a lawyer for that. If you have to remember anything from that video, is get help. Call those toll-free numbers from your local government and ask questions to other professionals to see what experience they had in the past. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. If you want to check out the online workshop, you will find the link in the description below.